happening right now? Research it. Oh, there it is. Yeah. I'll be waiting I'll be waiting against the wall. And I don't mind. And I don't mind. No, I don't mind. Yeah. We're getting back in. Yeah. 1:40 a.m. Holy. If you guys stumble across this one in the morning, hopefully it'll be less than 3 hours. Hopefully, no promises. We'll see. How do we start these things? I'm trying to find identity of what this show will be. I want to start by cutting a promo on Jacob DeGrom. God dang it. What are we? Jacob Marie DeGrom. Just what? Just what was that? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What's up, Pojen? Pojen, doing all right? So I had to get a cup of ice from Taco Bell, pour my ghost in. So it looks like I'm drinking Taco Bell drink, but it's really a ghost. I promise. Anyway, hey man, I hope you guys had a good Friday. So we head into Memorial Day weekend. So much baseball this weekend. And it's fun now because we can gamble on it. Good times. Let me turn my Spotify down a little bit so I can still listen to it. Erica. Doing all right, Pojen? Yesterday, we made 4 units. Rays, we were on there over 3.5 runs. That was an account of didn't know what to expect out of Garrett Cole coming back. Ironically, Garrett Cole did fine, or at least performance results wise did fine. Jose Caballero being back on that defense helped as well. But the Rays got there off the bullpen. Sometimes being lucky is better than being good. Blue Jays first 5, cash it. Peyton told that was a sweat kinda because he was getting rocked in the first 2 innings, but he ended up having like 9 strikeouts. So we put a unit on his regular strikeout prop 5.5, and then we put a quarter on his 6.5. So a little extra juice there. I had half of mine to keep going, but I'm happy that worked out. J-Rod, Jackson Churio, Robleski got finally. Corbin Carroll sneaked by on the 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. D-backs won their first 5. I think they lost the game. Got a nerf out of the Giants, White Sox. DeGrom just got rocked. Dalton Varsho, he kind of stole an at bat in the 8th inning. I wasn't expecting, but he drew 2 walks in the matchup that I was hoping that he wouldn't. So, I'm salty, right, when you don't hit, but I'm a little less salty when the guy's drawing walks, like 2 walks. It doesn't count towards our hits, runs, RBIs, but what are we gonna do? At least it's at least it's up there, and you get it, right? Marte Carroll had a barrel out. Unfortunate. Oh well, we'll take it. Profitable day. 4 units. 4 units. You like that purple Baja Blast? What is it? The Midnight? Baja Blast Midnight? White Sox pitcher had beat from 4-5X. Dude, yeah. I looked away for a minute. Was it the 6th inning? I don't even know what it was. I looked away, like it was scoreless through 4-5, and next thing you know, it was 9-0. I was like, what the freak happened in Oracle? That's baseball, Susan. All right, so here's what I'm gonna go game by game. Basically, I'm just updating my spreadsheet, and I figured I might as well go live and think out loud. Mentioned it at the top of yesterday's stream. The idea, the goal, the intention, the thought is to make a return to the space now that I have accessible sports betting through prediction markets, whereas my state, Texas, did not afford me the opportunity to get onto the FanDuel, the DraftKings sports books. So ever since being able to access that again, I've kind of stirred that pot. I've had some real life stuff that is saying, hey, it's time to go find something to do. And if I can make a perfect connection here, get back into the space I want to. But it really just comes down to, is there going to be a market for it, a want for it, and support for it. So in the next week or two, kind of dabble with beta ideas, um, be a little bit more finite to myself about what I want to definitive to myself about what I want to build out. I have a lot of ideas. I come from a content creation other side, and then I got a little bit of knowledge on the space and the player prop research, and I think there's a gap to be bridged between entertainment and process. Like I feel like a lot of the betting shows or the research shows can be boring or completely nonsensical in terms of the process. I don't want to name names. None of the homies you've ever seen me work with, but yesterday on the recommended on the side of my video, there was some like sports betting videos, and the process that some of these guys do to justify their bets is just wrong. So I feel like there's a space if I mold it together, and that's what I'm gonna try to do. Um, yeah, yeah. Don't get me started on Arizona pitcher 2K only against the Rockies. Yeah, I didn't. Soroka. Yeah, I didn't take his strikeout props. Ah, man, cash. You still grinding them DFS streets, huh? Ran over like poker next. Yeah, chipping a chair. Anyway, so if you guys are interested in what we're doing here, um, I'm gonna tentatively launch a subscription for those of you that can't spend 3 hours a day listening to me ramble or just want to support the cause. Um, and I'm I don't have a site. I don't have a name for it. I don't have nothing. This is all like brainchild in the last couple days. Um, so I need to come up with a name, and a purpose, a mission statement, all that crap. But if you know that you want to lock in with me and whatever it is, we'll figure it out. Just know that it's going to be a little bit more betting oriented, a lot more betting oriented than fantasy sports. But I still want to dabble with like Prize Picks and Underdog. Like I have a couple ideas for content, live show, but also like short form content. That's all the rave these days for the kids. Um, but it has to grow legs, it has to grow wheels, and needs a push to get to take off. So I'm gonna spend the weekend and the next week trying to iron out all the details. But hey, if nobody wants to be a part of it, then it's just an idea. That and tiers, good overlay and low state. Oh, you still tiers is still a thing. Let's go. I have to check that out, dude. I've kind of slacked last year. I was still doing like a little bit of fantasy, and I don't know, just from for not being as connected to everything, right? As far as like doing contracted gigs and whatnot, it's just like, man, you're watching it really get diluted and really become expensive, just like everything else in the world right now, and it's kind of disappointing. And then, so I'm not gonna say I fell out of love with DFS, but I said it yes, or DFS got fully solved, and I don't think the ecosystem is going to be a lot of newcomers to DFS when those newcomers will be able to experience prop betting and parlays like more accessible. I think the reason why DFS was ever like big to begin with was because it was the loophole to sports betting when sports betting was widely illegal. So when that started opening up, you could go to my old streams. I was like, yeah, it's it's gonna be a big tilt on the seesaw, and that's exactly what we saw. So, um, anyway, I always ramble, dude. Always rambling. Let's do a little bit of research. So what I'm doing here tonight, if you guys are new to the channel or need a fresher, I'm just updating my spreadsheet that I've created over the last couple of years, um, and entering the games, and then just kind of getting a first thought and whatnot, and draw out to a bet sheet. Now we did this bet sheet yesterday. I don't know that there's anything I added that we didn't do on the stream last night. I definitely know there's something that we took away that I deleted because of rain. Um, so whatever we end up with isn't final, but the process for, I'm pretty sure all of these bets was on yesterday's stream. Let me delete it all. Anyway, if you guys want to be part of it, get a subscription, hit me up on Twitter. And then I guess we'll have to do Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal for now. It's gonna be a little ghetto. But like, I don't want to go and buy a website and do all that stuff if like no one cares. You know what I mean? It's just kind of I'm in a weird spot. Or if somebody out there wants to invest in a new gambling media company or something, right? I got ideas. Got ideas. So hit me up. I think there might be some doubleheaders today. I'm not sure. Either way, Memorial Day weekend. First game on the slate. Cardinals and the Reds. I think this is a game that got postponed yesterday, so I'm not sure if they're running a twofer. But I guess we'll see in a moment. But a country song came on. You know, yesterday I went to all that trouble to play some royalty-free music at the beginning. I still got hit for it, but they trim it out for me, so now I'm just listening to music that you guys can't hear, which you'll probably hear me sing awfully. 4.9 run total for each team. Andre Payante taking on Chris Paddock. Paddock is a guy that we were fixated on attacking yesterday. We could move this bet sheet to the back. We love picking on Chris Paddock with lefties. And the Cardinals have a few that I like. J.J. Weatherholt, Alec Burleson are the two that scream pick me. And I think that's what we're going to do. Weather looks a lot better here. I'll open up the Kevin Roth weather tab here. A little bit of rain early on, but it should be cleared up for them to play, and in the mid-70s. So we get the benefit of a pitcher-friendly park team like the Cardinals in Great American Ballpark against a hitter-friendly pitcher. MLB schedule. Are the Cardinals playing 2 games? They are. It's going to be a doubleheader, so that's always a nuance, right? You get that extra roster spot, but you really can't call what you're going to do with your pitching situation. But some pitchers can go twice a day. Either way, though, the Cincinnati Reds bullpen, not great. Neither is the Cardinals. So I think we can feel pretty confident in wanting a little stake in Weatherholt, and especially Weatherholt and Burleson are the two that I really want to get a piece of. So let's pull up DraftKings, and we'll get started with that. Out of the beams of a neon moon. Think Weatherholt's good bomb in 2 base or 3 else? Yeah, I like it. Are you going after them stolen base props? So I am like I said, I do get the prop bet now on Kalshi, but there's a lot of markets they don't offer. I think stolen base is not one of them. Hello, where is? All right, I guess there's not a board here. Hopefully the board isn't too confusing for what we're doing. trying to think. Is there a way, or is there a scenario where it's not Payante and Paddock in the first game? I'm not gonna waste too much time. Let's just jot them down. Who's your one? Let's go. JJ Weatherholt, Alec Burleson. Hits, runs, RBIs. Hits, runs, RBIs. All right, we're gonna go. The bet we want is over 1.5. I don't know what the price is gonna be. It's gonna be a unit bet, and I would be stunned if Kalshi had that listed yet. Drink by drink. They got Ellie. They always go with Ellie. Nobody else from the get go. Okay, so we'll leave that at that. We'll put a note here. Versus Chris Paddock. Ivan Herrera's fine too. Chris Paddock, give it up to both sides of the plate. And then if you bring in bullpen arms, like I said, their bullpen's pretty porous. So any lefties? Brock Burke, Samuel, potentially 2 lefties. We turn these guys around against lefties. Burleson kind of holds steady. Ivan Herrera goes crazy. So I don't think throwing Ivan in there is too bad. Positive correlation for the 3 stack. F it, dude. Let's do it. 1 unit. We'll also put versus Chris Paddock here. And then we also probably need to fill out these pitcher projections while we're going. While we're doing it. KBO in an hour. Bro, y'all remember those days? Let's go 18% and 8.5. Chris Paddock, 18% and 5. I keep putting. Probably won't have outs for this game either. Yeah, there might be some squirrely stuff with that, but I'm just gonna soften them up at 15-15. So anyway, now that we have that game entered, I'm curious to see what those bomb detector ratings look like from that game. Eugenio. Jordan Walker's at the top for the Cardinals. Ivan Herrera. The righties are really digging in there. Am I sleeping on Jordan Walker? I guess with Walker, you want to neutralize his K rate. Chris Paddock, 23% K rate, but sub 10% swing strike rate last year, 18%. Really serves it up to righties. There's definitely a case for Jordan Walker. I'm not going to throw him in my mix right there. If you want to lay a quarter on a bomb, though, probably not getting home run odds yet. I'm just going to stay with those 3 for now, but I get it. Inversely, Payante, big ground ball guy. Still a little bit of room for a home run, over 1 home run per 9 to both sides of the plate so far. The ground ball rate definitely spooks me. The Reds, not a team that I have a lot of confidence in outside of Ellie De La Cruz and Sal Stewart. Generally, I'm not against Ellie. I think I'm not going to put him on my board right now. I'll just stick with the Cardinals here. Yeah, I'll just stick with the Cardinals there. Eugenio. Interesting. Didn't bet it, but that White Sox leadoff hitter is a good sprinkle with stolen base prop. So I haven't really researched a, a process for researching stolen base, but what kind of odds do you get on stolen base props? Like plus 400, plus 500, something like that? Or does it really vary? Because there's a lot to take in there, right? You like first you got to get on base, then you got to be in a steal game script, or you know having the next base open. So I'm just thinking, what's that implied probability? Would it be like 8% for a really good base stealer? And are you getting taxed? Like Henry Bolt, Chandler Simpson, guys like that. I guess Chandler Simpson would be the case study, huh? A leadoff speedster. But that Henry Bolt, dude, that guy is fast. I saw him get walked the other. It reminded me of the old Billy Hamilton days, man. You gonna walk that dude? You basically gave up a double. Yankees used to have somebody like that too. I think he went and played for the Diamondbacks. I can't think of his name right now. Tim something Tim, I want to say. Tim whatever. Whatever. You like the 300, 500 range? So that's like seven between 15 18% probability. That feels high. I don't know, man. I get it though. I feel like I'm a wuss when it comes to like home run bets and bets like that. I feel like I'd be like, why don't I just bet the run? Because he's still on a base, he might score a run. That type of. But I guess you can do it all. But I am like yesterday, I do spray some quarters, so maybe that makes sense. I just don't know like if paying 18% probability for some guys is the right move. But I gotta do some research on that. But I don't have a market for that personally, so I probably won't. Drew Rasmussen taking on Ryan Weathers. Yankees had a rough go of it after Garrett Cole left the game, and offensively, they are sputtering. Judgy in a little bit of a slump, although Judgy did have a hard hit flyout that would have been a homer in other parks, just not the massive stadium that is Yankee Stadium, that everyone knows it for being a extremely hard park to homer in. It's just not that one. Rasmussen, 23% K rate so far this season, a 1 whip, 3.4 expected ERA. Pretty solid all the way around. Decent ground ball, ability to miss barrels enough. Lefties have been getting him since last year. 1.2 homer per nine last year, 1.6 this year. Benjamin Rice makes a lot of sense to look at, but I think this is a spot where I'm going to disqualify myself from tacking on too much. I did allow myself to get on the Rays run total yesterday. I just thought it was too low. 3.3 is still low. Chip in a chair and a bullpen blast and another chip, a bloop and a blast. I don't know. But I feel like Ryan Weathers has had a really fantastic start to his year, and we're finding strikeouts that we didn't know he had. And bitten to both sides of the plate. Swinging strike rate at 11.6%, 30% overall. Really just smoking lefties like crazy. So I guess if I were to look at this game pre-flop, I'd be a little bit curious on clicking around for strikeouts. But this is not a high K lineup against righties. The Rays are rolling out, so I'm probably just picking my battles here and not putting myself in that. As a devout fan, I tend to try to not bet Yankee situations. Um, but every now and then I will find myself with some Judge and some Ben Rice. But I think in this situation, I'm probably hands off the wheel, and whatever happens, happens. But we will, for the sake of the spreadsheet, put some projections in. So let's go 23 and 5. And then for Weathers, we'll go 29, 29 and 5. I don't know if we got a out prop for them yet. Do you kiss on the first date? No. So this game does have like some rain, but it's an early game, and I expect, if they have to, they'll wait it out. They waited deep into the night the other night, but it does look like it's gonna be raining, into the afternoon. So this might be sitting around all day type situation. So more reason for me to not spend too much time the night before. It's a cherry pick when you go after the stolen bases. That makes sense. Like I rarely see somebody betting home runs, and I'm like, that's a good bet. Like if I'm betting home runs, for me, it makes more sense to go after like long odds than 180s and 250s and stuff like that. All right, moving on. Cubs. This game did get in yesterday. It's a weird game. I think the under still came through, but there was some like rando homers. Like I think the old catcher for the Christian Vasquez, I think he homered out of the 9 spot. You guys see JBL? Poor JBL, man. I saw him tweet. He was like, "I know the wind, but my gut's telling me take the over." It's like, man, JBL. Dude, if this thing gets legs and we do our daily betting show, I gotta get JBL on a betting show, dude. I gotta do that. I bet I could pull that off too. Revenge series for Alex Bregman. I had a Yo, Ballesteros, Jesus. What a crazy hot start he had to a ice cold screeching halt stop. But I guess as I type PCA, and you think about PCA last year to this year, although he did homer yesterday. Run total for the Astros 3.5. Run total for the Cubbies 4.2. Looks like another wind and chill day. Not extreme winds like we were warned about yesterday, but maybe it is. For Tang, 24% K rate, 1.1 on the whip, sub 4 expected ERA. Nothing glaring that I want to go pick on. This 184 home run per 9 to lefties is a little intriguing. Looking at his year-over-year stats, he has a massive spike in hard contact to lefties. The barrel rate's still 6%, though. So it just seems like this is something that's going to level out somehow, right? This could be a product of win games previously. Oh, wait, no, this is he's from Houston. I don't know what this is. This looks like something's got to give here. But if it didn't, Michael Bush would be somebody I might look at. 256 ISO. But I think the win coming in and the low run total is going to be another spot where I kind of take my hands off the wheel and not force anything. Do we want anything strikeout related from him in this matchup? 20% aggregate K rate from the Cubs in this spot. I'm probably not too excited for that. Colin Ray, 19% K rate for him, a 143 whip. That's not what you want. Elevated home run per 9 to righties. That's way up from last year. Now that might be impacted by wind, and I wonder if the Savant page, when it does the homers and parks, is that wind adjusted? I got everything I wanted. 6 bombs. Yeah. Dang, dude, he would have given up 10 in Citizens Bank. Holy. Dodger Stadium as well. Wow, yeah. That doesn't look like bad luck. That looks like he might even be lucky. So if we want to pick on him with a power righty, I really don't even know where we land. Isak Paredes is interesting, I guess. Christian Walker, interesting. I tend to look more so towards Jordan when I want to get some power out of this Astros lineup. But man, I tell you what, getting Jeremy Pena back in the mix here, if the elements were a little bit different, I might be a little bit more excited to go after this Astros spot. Um, because I also think there's a hole potentially for this average allowed, right? 4.47 xFIP, doesn't have a crazy ground ball, and he's not walking hitter, so they're gonna put the ball in play here. So if this was a normal um environment, I might be a little bit more keen on the Astros here. So I'll say from afar, I think it makes sense to still have some interest, but I tend to I I usually want to walk away with between 10 and 20 potential bets on a slate. So if I come back afterwards and I'm like, all right, let's go for something, maybe I will. But I think in this spot, I might stay away. But this ISO column versus Rays ISO allowed and his 11% barrel, certainly there. And I'm going to put the ball in play. Let's just do a quick projection for Tang. Let's go 24 and 9. Really, I just want to put this in, and then tomorrow I'll probably come back and put the outs. And then for Ray, we'll go 19 and 6. But you had to move on. Both Wood and Abrams stolen base prop is plus 410. You like odd? Okay. Okay. I think they do have SP props on a couple of the other states, but I would not want to take stolen base prop on like Prize Picks or under like a site where you have to parlay it. You know what I mean? So, but that's just me. Let's move over to the Pirates and the Blue Jays. Brian Reynolds, man, he had a crazy at bat yesterday. I didn't have much involved in this game yesterday. I had Dalton Varsho, who didn't get there, but he did draw 2 walks. And I had the Blue Jays first 5, which got there for me. I didn't really consider the first 5 in the previous game, but it's a maybe. Paul Skeens taking on Patrick Corbin. Who taught you how to move on? Dude, Pojan, you really don't sleep, bro. It's incredible. I thought I was a zombie. It's Jake. I never see Jake down for too long either. I always see Jake in our Discord. He's like, "Well, I'm gonna be gone," and then he's just like, he's always kind of there. It's like, do we just sleep upside down, hanging in the doorway or something? 4.2 run total for the Pirates. 3.5 for the Blue Jays. Hey man, they're facing a really good pitcher. Blue Jays aggregate K rate sub 19% in this projected lineup with Okamoto and Varsho leading the charts in Ks. Skeens is never likely to give you a K prop off the rip that you're probably going to go and run after. Corbin, inversely, really, really susceptible to opposing righties. But is there a righty we want? Connor Griffin? Like the combo I'm thinking in my head right now is there a player that we want to handcuff to first 5? That's kind of how I like to go grab some of these aces or exposure to the aces is take the first 5. Um, if I like the spot for the offense, and there's certainly a little bit of juice here. Marcelo Zuna, I struggle to have confidence in him in this stage. Does this say 20% walk rate? against lefties since the beginning of last year. And am am I seeing that? Lying here, not next to you. By the way, this year a 112 WRC plus against lefties with a 171 ISO. That's cool. He has an 18% walk rate. What's the at bats here? 41 at bats. Okay. And then last year, 109 at bats against lefties with 30 walks. Yo, what? 21% walk rate? Like, I just thought we were having a super anomalic fun with numbers moment, but that's crazy. Corbin doesn't walk righties too much, pushing over 9% this year. That's definitely higher than recent years, but wow. Do I get behind some Marcell Ozuna in 2026? That feels crazy. Ozuna, where you at on the bomb detector, buddy? Connor Griffin up there. Marcel's not that high. He's at 16%. But Connor Griffin's a maybe. But Connor Griffin still has the benefit of a small sample. We got 40 at bats before yesterday against lefties. I guess we can look at his minor league stats. I just couldn't. See, that's Major League. In case you didn't know. 30. It's got that pop. It's got that pop. Connor Griffin handcuffed to Pirates first 5? Question mark. Cause you didn't know. You had some cruise yesterday? All right, so O'Neill Cruz might be the only lefty in the lineup. Where they put him, I don't know. So if we hyper focus on Corbin's rolling 3-year struggles with XFIP, average allowed, and power to righties, somebody's gonna get him. Connor Griffin is my bet. Ozuna has a great chance of getting on base, but I think what I don't want to do is get screwed by Marcell drawing 3 walks. So I think we're gonna nominate Connor Griffin. And we love Skeens, right? Generally, we think Skeens should be able to hold up his end of the first 5 bargain. So do we go Pirates first 5? I feel like there might be a little bit of shock value on a Pirates line. The Pirates are they're pretty well favorited. Let's see. Live this life without you even know. 54 cents. Fudge it, did. Pirates first 5. Let's go 54 cents. 1 unit. Case you didn't know. I guess what it was, I don't know, man. There's something there for Ozuna, but I don't think I want to put a unit on it. Going Connor Griffin to make some damage, do some splashing. I guess just for the heck of it, we can go look at Mr. Skeens. I would assume he's got to be at like 7 strikeouts just because he's Paul Skeens, right? 6.5 maybe. Yeah, he's at 7. So we don't want that. Set his projection up to 30. Better when the sun goes down. Maybe that means to when the sky. Actually, we can lean a little bit more into his righty splits. So we'll go 15% and 8%. I guess that was exactly what we had. Essentially, for outs, Skeeny. We're going Skeeny dipping. 18, 15. That gives us 6Ks for Skeens, by the way. So that was a little rich for my blood. But I'm not the type to bet an under a Paul Skeens, so. Better when the sun goes down. So we'll go with that. We'll go Pirates first 5. We'll go Connor Griffin. And that's all I got to say about that. Cruz was in the Twins pitcher 0 lineup. Oh, no. Dude, that was rough. That game kind of exploded. Yeah, Peyton told he still had 9 strikeouts, and then like the Twins stack was like still crazy. It's like that for DFS would. I don't miss that. She loves the rain. Okay, let's go over to Philly. I mentioned to Jake and Cam yesterday about like random strikeouts happening. Gavin Williams isn't really random, but I saw that he had a crazy strikeout day. It's like, man, we are seeing some Spike K games lately. We're not seeing it from Jacob deGrom, but literally anyone else. Says, what's the use? Slade Sassoni. Damn right, I'm a damn mess. Is there any like morning show bet shows in rotation right now? I feel like there's a lot of afternoon stuff I'm seeing, a few night befores. Was there like a morning show? Like talk? I guess there's got to be, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of I'm still brainstorming an identity. Guardians and Citizens Bank Park taking on the Phillies. This is Zach Wheeler, Slade Sassoni. One of these things is not like the other. Slade, we want to attack him. Phillies, I guess with the Phillies, we want to check out their weather situation. Looks like 100% chance of rain all day. So we're going to put a pin in that and leave it alone because that game might not happen. Let me see. Is Vegas putting lines for this game? They are at 4 o'clock. Yeah, I'm gonna not doubt. I'm not gonna waste time on that with 100% across the board. No negative for hits and such. Oh, dude, back in the day, these kids don't know the pain of negative fantasy points on FanDuel. These kids don't know the struggle of being in first place and going backwards because your guy grounded out or struck out. Was it? It was just an it was negative points for making it out, right? And and yeah, I kind of like the idea of negative points for like a strikeout. I guess at least these days. Back then, you got um, old blind umpires that you know. Jared Kelnick got scratched yesterday. I don't know what that's about. Maybe he'll be good today. This game produced a lot more runs than expected last night. Now you're going to turn around and get a day game out there in San Francisco. And you got two pitchers worth picking on. So we might find some fun in this one. Adrian Hauser. Eric Fetty Wap. Fetty has a 4.56 expected ERA. Hey, that's better than last year's 5.38 so far in 46 innings of work, 14% K rate, sub 7% swinging strike rate. Home runs to lefties has dipped. The explanation in the batted ball data looks like a dramatic drop in hard contact to lefties, but we're seeing an overall increase in barrel rate. So, uh, contact pitchers still allowing good contact hitters to make good contact. Inversely, Adrian Hauser, a 1.5 whip, 5.83 expected ERA. Not bad numbers overall against righties. Lefties, though, has been a pain in his butt, especially this season. A 2.35 home run per nine, two lefties in 48 innings of work, an extremely high walk rate 3 years running, elevated line drive rate this year, and a barrel rate closing in on 10%. And this White Sox lineup, outside of Miguel Vargas and Chase Meidroth, is looking really, really lefty heavy. So this is a Murakami, uh, put it in the water situation. And then Colson Montgomery has been extremely great too. And the thing about this matchup that we love is these extremely high K rates, 30% for Murakami, 32% essentially for Colson Montgomery, get absolutely not just chopped in half, but almost chopped by 2/3. So this is a spot where we lean way more into this 300 ISO. Park is going to play a little bit more favorable in the daytime because of just because it's daytime. So I'm loving what I'm seeing out of the potential White Sox lineup. Giants bullpen's okay. What are we doing here with this information, guys? Um, I guess the downside here is Murakami and Montgomery also draw a lot of walks, so we got a little risk here. Sam Antonasi. We're gonna pull something here. I think we just not overthink the walk situation and just take it. Um, I need to do some more digging on old Sam in the leadoff spot to see if this 300 average is real. 330 average so far against righties. 4 stolen bases, 4 caught stealings. So let's do MLB Sam Antonasi. He was a 300 hitter in the minors. Try leaving where I come from. Looks good this year. Looks good last year. All right, assuming he's in the leadoff spot, what is our pinch hit risk, if at all? Oh, guys, I'm hearing some thunder right now, so if I disappear, it means I've been kidnapped. Jet fuel cannot melt. 444. All right, I think we're gonna go. We're gonna go 3 lefties from the White Sox here, and I would assume Murakami and Montgomery are gonna look good in a bomb detector. Now the park will do some things. Oh, I knew it. Oh, I knew it. Oh, I knew it. Uh, yeah, the park didn't let him get too high. It comes in at 16%. Now, he might be overvalued public perception because of the park, but the matchup's pristine, and I'm going to play the matchup. So I'm not going to chase the homer there, even though it looks really juicy. I'm just going to take the over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I smell the rain. And they only got Rafi Devers. Are we being for real right now? That's all right. He's at minus 130 for 2. Yeah, the walks scare me, but I just have to not overthink the walks, man. You got to play the matchups. But yes, I'm 100% fearful of that. Um I don't want to back Eric Fetty here for like a first 5. What are we thinking about? What do we think about a over 9? Both offenses are in a spot. 467, 474. It's not crazy. Um, this is perfect. Come kiss me one more time. So, we don't have yesterday's. No, I guess they had Thursday off, so that's not gonna disqualify too much. Same with the G-Man. All right, all right, all right. I'm not gonna force the over here, but I am gonna 3-piece the top of the White Sox lefties. Now, do we punch back here? Eric Fetty, 193 average to lefties seems really, really lucky, but we do have that lower hard contact right now. I assume this is going to be an absolutely disgusting BABIP because the XFIP is glaring. To deserve you, girl. 200 BABIP. 528 XFIP. 6.5% home run to fly ball percentage. The hard contact is down. Can we justify that? Or I don't say justify, but yeah, justify is the word. That's the freaking word, dude. Let's go Eric Fetty. See if his pitch mix or performance has dramatically changed against lefties. So it looks like he is throwing the sweeper predominantly against lefties. And last year he threw the sweeper about 19% against lefties. and we're at 33%. Whereas last year the cutter was a little bit more. So the expected slug on that sweeper is 381. The cutter 622. So that could justify a little bit of a dip. Then we still got sinker change up. So it looks like that's the most significant change here is sweeper. He's throwing a sweeper more. Man, what a hell of a year it's been. With that said, what do we want to do about that? Well, is he okay? So is he switching it up against righties too? Is that explaining this a little bit? Not a lot. 10% more against righties with that sweeper. What's up, Haz? Subscription numbers, man. That's the next step. I was telling Jake and company in the OG Discord that there's a number I need to be at to really go all in. And it's not a big number. But we gotta see where we're at, you know? But I'm pretty pessimistic about getting to that number in baseball season. But yeah, I don't want to start that whole tangent again. But my brain's been running the last couple days, and I got ideas. So the sweeper has been his primary pitch against both sides of the plate. He's throwing at 44% against righties. I really don't know what to do with that. I just would bet on talent here, I guess. But I guess that this is what's bringing his overall hard contact down. Is that's a tougher pitch to square up. I think I leave it alone, man. I think I'm just. I guess. Luis Arise is gonna put the ball in play. He's not gonna strike out. Maybe. Well, I feel like I'm forcing it now. So let's let that simmer. Let's let that simmer and load up the next game, huh? Good news. Sitting here sipping on cold truth. Devil wouldn't walk in my shoes. Oh, you guys mind if I check the weather real quick? Because it is grumbling out there. That's not too bad. All I really need is a little good news. Heavy rain and a thunderstorm for at least 60 minutes. Oh boy. Alright, so if this stream abruptly ends, this is why. I'm about right there. And this is all coming my way. I hear it grumbling. My house is pretty good at holding fast on internet and what and electric. But it is Friday night, and in the bars, I guess it's almost 3 now, so I don't know. We won't manifest such nonsense. But if I do disappear, it's likely due to that. What's up, Haz? You get some action today? I'm living in, sleeping like a landslide. Tigers and the Orioles next on the docket. Framber taking on Brandon Young. Your habit that's a little too hard to break. A little bit of rain concerns yesterday with this one, and a lot of the same today. Looking at the Roth site, so I hate to hit the skip button, but I also hate to exhaust too much time researching something that I don't think I can pull the trigger on from this far out. So I'm gonna leave that alone then, guys. Hate to do it. Framber certainly having a down year. Um, Struggling to strike out righties, and that xFIP shot up. And the Orioles, they're a team I'll get creative with a strikeout lefty, but I think in this situation, yeah, I don't know. So I'm just gonna stay away from this from now. Brandon Young, somebody I definitely would pick on with a lot of high aspirations. Dylan Dingler, Riley Green, Kevin McGonigal. Those are three names that look fine, but I just can't do it from this far out with that type of forecast. So we'll leave it alone, man. What is vague? Like the odds, like how much the house is charging you. You know what I mean? Like if you were to flip a coin, it technically has a 50% chance for heads or tails, and then if you go to bet it and it's like minus 108 or minus 110, the house is vigging that so they get a little cut, even though you're buying something that has a 50% chance, but you're essentially paying uh like 52% for a 52% chance, you know. Take a fatty on the weather in other games and just sat back, followed noties from the MLB app. Yeah. I hate big slates with a lot of rain involved in games that I otherwise would be pretty interested in. Like I definitely would want some pieces of this, but from this far out, it would be irresponsible to recommend stuff, and it would also maybe not be the most efficient use of my time. Cause man, y'all, I don't know if y'all hear that, but that God's up there bowling, man. That story's always stuck with me. You guys remember the Reading Railroad, that TV show? If you do, it means you're old. But I remember I was watching a kid, or watching an episode as a kid. Jesus. I remember I was watching a kid, and now I can't go within 100 feet. Oh, anyway. I was watching an episode of the Reading Railroad, and they told a story how thunder, when it rained, God was bowling, and then the rain was the tears because he was losing, and the thunder was the bowling ball hitting the pins. It was a whole thing. But it is sounding pretty violent out there, so shout out Electric. Saw a tweet yesterday that said Bobby Witt Jr. Might be getting shopped listening to offers. And of course the Yankees are always linked to rumors like that. But the Yankees never get normal price. The Yankees always get the Yankee tax. So I don't know if that's going to be a thing, but I sure would not mind some Bobby Witt in pinstripes. George Kirby taking on Stephen Kolek. Mariners have a 4.7 run total. We had some J-Rod yesterday in our card. That went through. Kolek, 294 average allowed to righties, 5% K rate so far in 17 innings. Now, maybe he finds some more strikeouts, but last year, only about a 14% K rate, so there's not a whole lot more strikeouts to find with his 7.7% overall swinging strike rate. But he's a big ground ball guy, even though he has a ridiculous home run per nine so far this season, but that's unsustainable with those metrics. Not usually something I'd go out there and get, but I will tell you what, with a J-Rod and a Rosarena, particularly a guy like a Rosarena, what I like to see here is Kolek doesn't walk righties. He's going to challenge you to put the ball in play. And Arozarena's got enough speed, and J-Rod does as well, where good things happen when you put the ball in play. So I'm a little bit intrigued with that. And you mentioned stolen bases. I think Arozarena is a guy that might be a little sneaky with Arozarena. Maybe sneaky's not the word, but could get you some stolen bases. And this is a challenge you to put the ball in play spot, right? He has 14 stolen bases this year, almost half of what he had last year. I hit the road like, baby, what you want to do? I didn't even know where to look at stolen base props, but I'm thinking there's something there with Randy. 7 days a week. So, what are we doing about that? I love a little bit of you. I think a J-Rod and a Rosarena are the two that I would lean into. What's their BABIPs? Oh, with my needle in the hay, says she got a. Dude, this Thunder's getting crazy. Dude, he has a 400 BABIP against righties. What? That's what I'm saying, man. Put the ball in play, good things happen. Last year, a 305 BABIP. More realistic. 2024, 275 BABIP. That can only take so much. 155 WRC play. Dude, I'm thinking there's something there here for old Randy. And then I'm missing you again. Let's do it. Randy, get in there. Get in there, Randy. What are you doing? And I was made for good. Bye. Do we want to throw J-Rod in the mix as well? What's our pitch report telling us? Get out of this bed with a buzzing in my ear. So with Randy, he doesn't really hit anything specifically well outside of the curveball. But that's okay. That's okay, Tone. J-Rod hits the fastball just fine. Nothing overwhelming here. It's just ground ball stuff. You got to keep it in play. And let me check out some exit velo and look at that bat speed. That's what you like. I was made for good. F it, dude. Let's do it. He gonna do what? Playing small ball here. We're not chasing dingers. I think it just makes too much sense there. Get a little piece of that. Tatis and not hitting a bomb. Dude, am I living in a alternate universe? I swear there was a big deal about him hitting his first homer the other day. But was it called back or something? Or maybe somebody just tweeted an old one. But yes, it is kind of crazy. But also kind of damning that after he gets busted and serves a suspension for juicing, falls through, you know? So, if we like J-Rod and we like Randy Arozarena, and the Mariners are favored, and there's nothing in George Kirby's metrics that we want to attack with the Royals. And the Royals have a lot of walks. I guess what I'm trying to lean into is, do we want a piece of Mariners' first five? Big death row of ISO here. I think I'm gonna leave it alone, but I'm a little bit interested. You know what I mean? What would it cost us? 52, 53. Windows down and 48 cents. All right, I'm in at 48 cents. I'm in at 48 cents. What's up with Kirby strikeouts, man? All right, maybe I don't know, man. I don't know. 4 plus xFIP to lefties. Strikeouts are down. Pascatino's there. All right, I'm gonna leave the first 5 alone. I'm not gonna do it. There's really I don't want to. There's nothing on Kirby I want. Like I don't want to attack him, but I don't want to back him. Although it's yeah, I'm just gonna trust the gut there. The gut. I'm not getting a strong read, right? Today, Macho and Castillo and someone else hit one today. It would be hilarious if he's the only one on the team that didn't hit a bomb this season. I mean, is he diminishing his trade value before our very eyes? That'd be kind of crazy, though. The thing is, with Tatis, yeah, the 595 OPS. I mean, I guess he's still got 300 OBP and he's still on bases. Slightly positive WAR, not a great WRC plus. Terrible. Yeah, that's real. I don't know. All right, let's keep the NL East action over in Miami. Juan Soto staying hot. Juan Suit, not as much. Juan Suit. That sounds like how many? Never mind. I don't think y'all can hear the thunder, man, but I would love to have a setup where I could just show through the lightning we've been getting in Texas lately. Has been insane. I took a video the other day. Pink skies. Just nonstop lightning. It looks like God was hitting the light switch over and over. No thunder. Probably really dangerous to be out in the open with a phone, but YOLO. What the freak? Yeah, they say. Nail play. 10K Max Meyer is here on Giraffe Kings or FanDuel. That's kind of funny. I have an old CSV in here right now feeding prices, and he's 10K now. That CSV's from yesterday, too. Funny. All right. Well, Freddie Peralta, he's kind of good. Overall, K rate is at 23%, dropped 5% from last year. The swing and strike rate is down 1%. Like he's still missing bats at a decent enough clip that I don't want to attack him. This 1-2-3 in the projected Marlins lineup, they're gonna make contact. They're gonna make you earn it. Middle of this lineup gets that's a freeway of strikeouts. That's gonna be where Freddie has to get them. I'm probably not running to this spot for that. Inversely, Max Meyer, he's back. Now he's striking out lefties since the beginning of last year, an aggregate 27%. Now Soto, not somebody I'm attacking with for strikeouts. He's striking out righties at a good clip this year. It's kind of an ugly Marlins game. There might be a nerfy here. But Juan Soto's red freaking hot. I mean, scorching hot. I mean, like you could just tell with every swing that he was in pinstripes hot. Like that's. I think it's full fade. Like maybe like a Nerfy is the only thing that I'm curious with. Otherwise, there's nothing here that I have a lot of conviction about. And it looks like that's how it's priced with the Vegas lines as well. No betters to bet. Yeah, that's what I love about the big slates. I don't have to force bets here. If I can get a board of 10 plus bets, I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, Nationals and the Braves. Next game on the docket. I stayed away from this game yesterday because of rain and it played. Looks like there might be some rain concerns here. We'll take a look at that. CJ Abrams, talk about hot. Look, that dude's having a season. Jake Irvin. Twirling. Michael Harris is also having a season. Also, Michael Harris, I saw in the lineup was like 5th yesterday. Don't do that. Don't do that. Keep that man in the 2-hole, thank you. River upstream. 5.3 run total for the Braves of Atlanta. All right, what happened here yesterday? Like I never. Do we have bullpen usage from yesterday yet? No. Brave scores. Fuentes, Suarez, Iglesias, Lee. We went into extras too, huh? Freaking Bryce Elder, man. He did it again. You make me, you make me. So Suarez is likely not going to pitch tomorrow. Dylan Lee probably doesn't pitch tomorrow. Fuentes can pitch back-to-back days. And Rizel hasn't pitched, so there's that. And then on Washington's side, the Nationals have one of the worst bullpens in all of baseball. It's almost not even worth spending time to look at it. But we're gonna, because that's what we do here. So Beater's probably not gonna pitch. Ribalta is almost definitely not gonna pitch. As you make me, you make me. Peter Ribalta. Parker Varland. That's probably the only two I can confidently get rid of. Like I never said he's hoping. The Braves actually undershoot their run total here, and the Nats overshoot. That's funny. All right. With Jake Irvin, he's got himself a 26% K rate to lefties. Seems a little bit on the fake side because his swing and strike rate is still at 10%. So I guess we got to take a pause for the cause and look at his savant to see if he is adjusted a pitch mix to lefties that's getting more strikeouts for some reason. All right, the big change I'm seeing. Cutter this year at 15.5%. Last year was at 3%. He's getting a 39% whiff on the curveball. Last year was at 24%. Picked up some spin on it. 241 expected slug. It's got some good expected slug for this primary pitch. That sinker's getting smacked. And good expected batting average here, actually, too, for pitches 1 and 2. The cutter's getting hit. If he's got to get to the cutter, bad things happen. Problematic. And that's where Michael Harris shines as well. I like the idea of Michael Harris, Matt Olson, Acuna for that matter. And it's one of those spots where the bullpen is so bad that it's just a quality full game's worth of at bats. So I think I do that. I'm sure there's gonna be juice. What's the weather like here? Looks coin flippy. All right, let's. I guess before we commit to them, I like Acuna, Harris, Olson, a unit each. Hits, runs, RBIs. So 4 p.m. Eastern. So we just got to keep our ear to the ground on the weather. If it plays, I'm there. F it. Well, add them to the sheet and then I'll put a note. I get it. I get it, Daisy. It's raining. I know. I know. Michael Harris, Matt Olson. Let's go. Circle back and check weather. Yeah, Abrams has been really good this year. Grant Holmes, by the way, sub 19% K rate overall this season. Attackable with both sides. The very low average allowed to lefties. Not really. I mean, even if he regresses to last year, it's not crazy. You know, we're looking at James Wood and C.J. Abrams, but I want to feel good. And the 12% walk rate to lefties, or 11.7% aggregate the last 2 years against lefties, and James Wood's 15% walk rate. It's kind of crazy. Abrams not walking quite as much. So I'm a little bit intrigued with that with those two. I'm a little bit more likely to click Abrams here. But but I'm not gonna commit to it right now. I'm non-committal. All right, let's go up to Fenway. Let's see if the Twins and the Red Sox can curtain call get whatever yesterday was. That was just ridiculous. I say you don't think that I lost. Anybody love Morgan Wallace, or is it just me? Ryan Creedler. Rowdy. No, just what the heck is a Mickey Gasper? I actually had a moment like that yesterday when DeGrom gave up a homer to someone I don't even remember their name. I was like, who is that? This guy literally religiously watched all of it, and I have no idea who that was. But I feel like DeGrom has this. I'm just remembering. I feel like he has this knack. Him and Garrett Cole have the knack for giving up bombs to absolute who's that's. I remember the Marlins had some kid in like his first game, and his like dad was they kept interviewing his dad on the Marlins broadcast, and then he homered off for DeGrom, and his dad was just like, "That's DeGrom." Like it's like, uh, baseball is a cruel sport. Brian Bayo, Taj Bradley. I want to pick on Brian Bayo. I want to respect Taj Bradley. The Red Sox have just 3 hitters since the beginning of last year in this projected lineup with a WRC plus above 100. Jaron Duran, Wilyer Abreu, and Wilson Contreras. Everyone else, not much for the old ISO. Not a ton of strikeouts, but just like kind of weak in the whole bat department. So I don't want to get too happy with Taj Bradley here, but he's definitely the pitcher I want to pick on the least. Bayo, 6.7 expected ERA, 14.4% overall K rate, 1.8 WHIP. He is struggling to get lefties out. Byron Buxton's continuing to be really good at all things. Bayo, if he does anything, it's to keep righties on the ground. Still gives up a pretty high average. So I guess with this split here for Bayo, we'd like to lean into a lefty for the Twins, but there's not much confidence. Do we get a pesky pole homer at a Cody Clemens or a Trevor Larnach? Now that we have that game entered, do they pop up in the top of the bomb detector? Minnesota? Melody and harmony. Not really. Yeah, the Twins are like Byron Buxton and who else? You know what I mean? Whenever I'm setting this up. So this might be like a quarter arcade spot for like a home run bet, right? Like I don't want to add full unit hit run RBI error. But I do want to pick on Bayo. And that game got ridiculous yesterday, by the way. So I think what we learned, that wasn't this game. Still don't got no bullpen action, so I want to see what this Boston bullpen might look like. I know, Daisy. It's raining. You know I don't want to go out there. My dog's bothering me. Like she wants to go outside. Like, you know you don't. I'm gonna open that door. You're gonna see it's raining. You're gonna turn right around. Slayton Weissert. All right. Sometimes the greatest way of saying something. So I guess the bullpen's wide open. I'm not gonna oversweat that. So Jeffers, I think Jeffers a righty. I think. Basically, I'm thinking Clemens or Larnach as far as the chip in a chair, and Clemens as the 250 ISO to righties since the beginning of last year, but that's just quarter arcade bombing it. There's not really a high conviction here, so probably not going to do it. We liked Peyton yesterday against the Twins for his reverse splits. Bradley so far this season a 31% K rate to lefties. And this should be a pretty lefty heavy Red Sox lineup, but I don't know if I'm fully buying into this K rate. But I guess we'll look. Feels a little bit high. Where's our 62% whiff out of the splitter? How did he triple that? 1690, 16. 30% usage. I'm up to no good again. What is his strength of schedule? Actually, let's go pull that up on Fangraphs. He's not going to have a 60% whiff rate on the number 2 pitch, right? Damn this hard and everything that comes with it. Let's go game log. Why don't you keep it? It ain't doing nothing but keeping me up. We want stuff plus. Where's it at? There we go. So, last couple games, the Nationals, the Mariners, the Rays, the Reds, the Blue Jays, Tigers. I mean, it's not all Rockies and Angels, right? Only one game, dipped below 100 in the stuff plus. Locations all over the place. I just feel like that's unsustainable. Somebody keep an eye on it. I'm not going to run after that. Or am I? Damn this heart. It's probably 5.5, right? On a goodbye do. Wait, it's 4.5? I'm listening. Now we gotta enter his. Now we gotta enter it. Now we gotta do it. 3 righties and a projected. Let's go. Let's just meet in the middle. 26 and 8. While we're here, Bayo, we can put you in there. Yeah, bum. What's the outs? We don't have outs. Is this game got weather? What are we doing? No, it doesn't. Okay. What do I want to look at then? So, what do you want to talk about? I guess he hasn't pitched since the 5th. Six innings, 8 Ks in that game. He didn't have no rehab starts, right? Anymore. Anymore. Oh, he did. May 17th. Wait, what? Yeah, May 17th. Okay. 1.2. Oh my god. Oh, that didn't go great. 3 strikeouts. 10K, man. Taj Bradley pitch count. I'm just gonna look for that. May 5th went 96. So it's not like, I mean, he's just still be pretty stretched out. Fastball at 97. Anymore. Yeah, his last 2 starts, his fastball's at 97, which is he came out hot with that. All right, let me give him 15 outs. Just to see. 15 outs comes back at 4.9 Ks. But like, that could be modest. It could be 18. That's a crazy sentence. Don't clip that. Six, 7, 6, 6. So he's gone 6+ innings and 4 games straight. Again, a little break, couple weeks. But if I move this 15 to an 18, another crazy sentence, 5.8 Ks. I'm thinking the 5 plus at plus money seems kind of crazy. And it's not on the DK board, yeah? Is there a Vandal Sportsbook? Uh, Vandal Sportsbook player props. There we go. I feel like an old man Googling pages, so click. Do they just not have it up yet? Plus money for 5? Plus money for 5? Am I missing something on his list? Taj Bradley, Red Sox. Tell me you love me. Girl, I refuse. Must have me confused. Bradley threw 65 pitches in a minor league rehab outing and probably did a bullpen. All right, I'm sending it. F it, did. Taj Bradley, K, over 4.5. I mean, plus money to get me 5. 43 cents. Whatever, man. I feel like that's worth the sweat. I'd do it. You like it too? Nice. We spent a lot of time for that. Tell me you love me. Dodgers, Brewers, Part 2. Was glad to slightly be part of Justin Robleski's collapse with Jackson Churio, 2 hits, runs, RBI. That was fun. Roki Sasaki taking the bump for the Dodgers. It's Robert Gasser. That smells like a bullpen game. Let's see. The damage is done, so I guess I'll be leaving. All right, Gasser's got 4 innings this year, 5 innings last year. That doesn't seem... Gasser's an incredible name, by the way. "21 innings in the minors, 32 Ks, a 1.5 whip anyway. He must have a crazy walk rate that I'll never know about. What the heck? Where's my splits at? Jesus. Hello. What I want, just what I want, just what I want. There it is. And you ain't gotta wear 9 walks in 19 innings against righties. There it is. Fandle doesn't have Fetty as a starter now. Did I already say that and miss it? No. I had Fetty, but it's certainly viable to change. Who do they have? Or is it a opener situation? Let's see, Eric Fetty, White Sox. You don't want this heart, boy, it's already broke. Certainly always card subject to change. Some dude Hudson. Quick way to kind of look at that is just click on the pitcher and look at his recent game log, innings pitch. It could be an opener situation, but yeah. Hudson. Brian Hudson. I don't know that like news like that would happen at this stage in the night. He's a lefty. So he's a 1 inning guy. So it might be an opener situation. Says he started 2 games. He also has 2 saves. So they could be throwing a lefty in to go grab like a Luis Soares out or something like that and go from there. That's what I want. So if he is starting, it's probably an opener situation. What was I doing? Oh, I guess this situation with this Gasser guy, looks like he has a walk problem to righties. In the minors, 276 average allowed. Not a ton of power. One homer, period, in 25 innings. So I think with the Dodgers, just kind of betting on talent. Whenever they do run into a a left-handed pitcher, for me, uh, Teoscar, Andy Pajes, Will Smith. But Will Smith's actually better against righties, so you're just kind of betting on talent. We're not necessarily feeling super great about this matchup, but we really don't know what to expect because a lot of times the numbers don't transfer, especially 1-to-1 from minors to the majors, but really not 1-to-1 from minors to World Series champions and, favorites to do it again. So, tough transition. So, you're just been on talent. I'm not going to isolate any Dodgers here for a bit. Sasaki, 21.5% K rate so far this year. Missing bats still, but not putting it together still. Do we want to run into that fastball with a Yelich or a two-ring? I don't think I'm going to force it right now. Yelich doesn't look the worst, but I don't know. I always look at bat speed for um super velo guys like that. And his bat speed is meh. There's not enough love here as far as that matchup goes, so I'm probably gonna stay away from it. He's gonna start Fetty. I mean, you can still start Fetty. I think Fetty's going to play. I guess he wouldn't be qualified for the quality start though. But I mean, you could scoop and score a win if you think it's cheap enough. Let's be honest. If you're starting Eric Fetty, you're throwing caution to the wind. But I mean, I guess he could steal a quality start still. Athletics and the Padres. If the day ends and why? You're Jeff McNeely. JT Ginn, one hitter away from a shutout. Brother was holding a no-no into the ninth and lost it. Not only lost the no-no, but lost the game when Zach Neto got him. 4 times the charm, I just wanna be by you. I actually, I didn't go straight unit bets with this game last night, but I actually did put together a same game parlay, and I swept it. But unfortunately, it was attached to Diamondbacks and Jacob deGrom. Right? I did sweep it, right? Because I think I went 1, 2, 3 with Tatis, Miggy, Machado. I also took Cortez and Nick Kurtz, and then I took the Padres money line, and I should have just left it alone at that. But we were just looking for a late night lotto. I think that's what I ran. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely swept it. San Diego to win. Carlos Cortez, 2 hits, runs, RBIs. Nick Kurtz, 2 hits, runs, RBIs. And then Tatis, Miggy, and Machado, 2 apiece. So that was good. Absolutely got reverse swept in the Deep X game in the DeGrom prop. So that was unfortunate. JT Ginn and Giolito, anything here that we want to go after? Giolito just came back, 5 innings of work last year, 145 innings of work. So we can't really overreact to any of the results from game number 1, i.e. a 28% K rate against righties in that first game. but also, i.e., 8% K rate against lefties in that first game. And who was that game even against? Fangraphs. Jesus. I need to get back on my main PC soon. It was against the Mariners at Seattle. He had a 6 xFIP that game. Painted you pretty, and I bet you got a heart of gold. See what his pitches were looking like. Daisy, not right now. Pitch perfect. 90.4 on the four-seamer. That's down 3 miles an hour from his average last year. Spin rate on the slider, 1821. Last year, 1966. So that's down over 100 revolutions. God painted you pretty, and I bet you got a heart. Go. So I'm just gonna assume we pick on him till we don't. Go. Whoa. I really would like the bullpen stats to update. We did not get Mason Miller yesterday. Just when I thought I got him to fall in love, Tennessee. So I want to pick on him. But it's him specifically. I mean, this is kind of where we got a little trepidatious yesterday because we turn the Athletics around against a southpaw. It gets ugly real fast, right? And their bullpen has some the Padres bullpen has some southpaws. Now, Adrian pitched yesterday, 3 strikeouts. He probably is unavailable here. And I'm not running from Wandy Peralta. So, like, that's good. Mason Miller is just -1 inning. But Mason Miller doesn't need to get his number called if Giolito's getting got. It's a lot. It's just a lot of, I don't know. So I want to lean into Giolito's splits from last year. A 1+ homer per 9 to righties last year. Low K rate. And that's like Shea Langoliers. And Langoliers is the redeeming quality for this team against lefties anyway. So I'm like thinking there's something there in Shea. Now, do we want to handcuff him to Cortez or Nick Kurtz? Drinking Jack all by myself. Maybe. Maybe. What are we expecting from Giolito? Four-seamer, changeup, slider, curveball. So, four-seamer and changeup. Shea against the changeup. I mean, Shea's just really good. So I think we're gonna dip into some Shea Langoliers. And we just hope that we're not sweating him in the 9th inning. There's nothing I can do. Yeah, we have a price for that yet. Cowboy always fine. I mean, and you could always Throw old Nicky Kurtz in there. Cortez, like I said, got there for me quick yesterday. But Cortez is a pinch hit risk. Nick Kurtz is not. You can get Kurtz at 50 cents. I think that's pretty reasonable. Let's do it. Let's handcuff him. F it, did. Chip in a chair. All right. So we'll go Langoliers. I like Langoliers more than Kurtz, but we'll go with that. Yeah. Was hands down. Not really much else I want to get after here. JT Ginn. There's something interesting about Ginn is I don't say interesting, but he's really splitty. Porous against lefties, solid against righties, right? Aggregate 3-ish xFIP last 3 years against righties. 1-4 strikeout rate. Padres not a big strikeout team, but with Gavin Sheets and Jackson Merrill, the only two lefties in this lineup, you might get I would say surprise game. You're not gonna get a 10K game. Maybe this is like the worst time to try to get sneaky with JT Ginn after almost having a no hitter. He might be priced up, but if I could get him at 4.5, he's at 5. Oh, he's about to be at 6. That's a Jesus. Huh. 55 cents for 5, 37 cents for 6. I don't think I want to. I don't think I. I don't think I want to do that. I wish there was a little bit more K spike here. So we'll just leave it. We'll leave it. All right, matriculate on. Rangers and the Angels. Baby, I could die. Happy man, yeah. Nate Eovaldi. We gotta have goldfish memory here. But all I know is if Cal Quantrill came in yesterday and threw 7 strikeouts, I would have swerved into oncoming traffic. Wade Meckler. That's the random. I need to look this kid up. What was that? What even was that? Also, what kind of name is that? All due respect. Can't all be Gundacker, but Wade Meckler? What the is that? Baby, I could die. Batting 315 with a 922 OPS. I'm sorry, Wade. I wasn't familiar with your game. Yo, he's got the Wade Boggs mustache. Now I gotta know. Wade Meckler, Wade Boggs. Is there any link? Has anyone ever seen Wade Meckler and Wade Boggs in the same room at the same time? Back from the dead. Of course you haven't, because Wade Boggs is dead. Ouch, this got dark. It's got dark fast. I'm going to go back to researching now. All right, Eovaldi. He had a little injury scare, yeah? He knows what I think about. Here's your FanDuel. Fetty is long reliever. Murakami, Albies, Beatty, Montgomery, Antonasi, Woods, Harris, Abrams. Okay. All right. I like it. A lot of handcuffs. A lot of handcuffs. Both your hands in. Am I scared of the Angels because they got lucky? I'm just kidding. I'm still salty about that. All right, I'm right back in the Eovaldi train for strikeouts here. Angels lead the league in strikeouts. Uh, I would imagine Eovaldi's probably like 7.5 already. He is. 7 and 8 is kind of where I don't like betting. Is is there any asleep at the wheel on Kalshi with that number? Let me the holes of my sweater. We just don't even have that. Okay. Well, Eovaldi good, but it's expensive. Probably gonna stay away from that. But I like it. And then Urania on the other side, big ground ball guy. Nothing to be confident about in the Rangers offensively, so not running towards that. The only thing I want to click is something for Eovaldi strikeouts. Maybe it's a quarter arcade shot at 10. If you think you get 7 innings, I mean they did have to go to the bullpen yesterday. How bad did it get? Couldn't get more than 3 out of DeGrom. It's a shame. It's a shame, but Quantrill, Beeks, Chris Martin. Go, oh, oh, oh. I just might empty my bank account. No, might throw a quarter on something fun for. I just looked at this and there was nothing, huh? Let's see, might throw a quarter unit on a high K number for Eovaldi, but we don't have that number yet, so I'm gonna leave it alone. And we got one game left on the docket. 10-10. Rockies and the D-backs closing us out. Michael Lorenzen taking on Zach Gallen. Reminder, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, not live, we may be making a new brand, a big comeback with a more focus on betting here, but it really just it's gonna be a collective gauge on what the public thinks. So hopefully the response is well, and this becomes a regular thing with a more ironed out time. And I'm not just talking just baseball, like get into basketball next season, not now. Football, stuff like that. But the stars got to align. So there's also so I would say it's probably 50-50 right now if we're playing probability. So right now we're pretty raw. There's no fancy graphics. There's no website. There's not even a name for the brand. I'm just using the old stuff from last season. So you might see a lot of changes if things start rolling the right way. So keep an eye on that. If you want to be part of it, or you want to support it, or you're interested in just getting this bet sheet every day, hit me up on Twitter. That's probably the best way to contact me right now, unless you're in a Discord with me. Twitter.com/Gundacker. Shoot me a DM. Maybe at me, but I'll be checking. But I found the other day that I had a massive request folder that was a lot of bots, but also like a lot of people too. So Lorenzen, the pitcher I'm more likely to want to go pick on, a 400 plus average to lefties, 300 plus average to righties so far. 48 innings of sample size. Obviously, with a Coors pitcher, you kind of have to grain of salt it. But Lorenzen's a guy that we tend to know enough about his career now that he's going to be a contact guy, and we can go after him, especially with lefties in the last 2 seasons. So I'm going to go right back to the well on Corbin Carroll. Carroll had himself a barrel out yesterday. You see that, it makes you feel good that he's swinging a good stick. So I probably go right back to the three guys I was leaning on yesterday, but Corbin Carroll obviously leads the charge for me. And then Marte Perdomo, if we gotta stretch it out, but Carroll's just the guy for me. So we might handcuff him and Ketel Marte, kind of go from there and expect him to actually come through on that on on that run. So man, there was some unluckiness in what we saw yesterday. Who, who let's see. Let's see how we can. Wanna be a one-man band. I don't wanna be a rolling stone alone. Lorenzen last week got pretty shelled. I was gonna try to pull up the game stats from yesterday to see what the xFIP and the underlying metrics were gonna say, but it doesn't look like that's ready yet. So anyway, we're picking on Michael Lorenzen. So let's go. Let's just go 1, 2, 3. No, let's go 1, 2. There's gonna be extra juice on anything Corbin Carroll at 1.5, right? So we might have to do like we did yesterday, where we overpay for the 1.5 and then put like half a unit on the 2.5. Maybe we could take a road show on the road. Is Arizona playing 2 games tomorrow? What am I looking at? Rockies schedule. They have a double. No. Why does it say 10-10 on the on labs? No, it's 9-10. What the heck? Okay. Well, we don't have props for that. So we'll set it up to where it's Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte. Let's go HRR, 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 HRR. 1.5, 1.5, 2.5. 1 unit, 1 unit. Let's go half a unit. And now that all the games are in, what's the bomb detector looking like? Riley Green at the top. A lot of Detroit at the top. What were we? We're worried about the weather in that game, yeah? Yeah. A lot of Detroit at the top. Like a ridiculous amount. Mm-hmm. So I guess what we're worried about, or what I do want, is to be able to play some Atlanta, and then Detroit would be nice too. But I don't think we're gonna have a clear enough path to do that. So that's like 20 bets, dude. I'll run it if it did. 20 bets with 2 of the bets being half a unit. So I'll rock it. What about Bradley laddering props to 8+ at 630? I don't mind that. I feel like I'm getting like a great deal. I don't know about his pitch count, what we're gonna expect there. I just feel like I'm getting a ridiculous deal at 5 for plus money. And I'm like I'm happy there. So I'm gonna take that. And hopefully I don't get screwed. You know? Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's our look at Saturday. If you guys want to be part of the subscription stuff, twitter.com/Gundecker, reach out to me. Until we build a house here, it's gonna have to be PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. And then we'll pop open a Discord and kind of put it together. And then yeah, we'll go from there. Still thinking of a brand name and all this stuff. It's gonna be a lot of thinking, and hopefully enough support. I'm gonna get out of here. I won't promise a stream for tomorrow, but I will hopefully stream for tomorrow with the Sunday slate. But like I said, this is all kind of raw, doing what we can do, and we'll go from there. Appreciate you hanging out, Pojin. I know it was just a few of us tonight, but maybe I can get a day stream in the future, or like a Sunday stream before the baseball. That would be kind of cool one of these days. But we gotta see what the real life schedule is looking like. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Twitter.com/Gundecker. Good luck. God bless.